video. And 60-second video. And what I want you to write down is, what do you think is happening in the video? That's the only thing I want you to write on that sticky note. Everybody understand? Just what do you think is happening?
August 28, 1963. 250,000 Americans, black and white, young and old, descend on the nation's capital in a show of solidarity. It was called the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, but it would be remembered as a turning point in the fight for civil rights. Among the speakers, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who electrified the crowd with the stirring "I Have a Dream" speech.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow,
Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't go far enough. We're going to stop there. What do you think is happening? Shh. What do you think is happening? Write that on your paper real quick. Okay, everybody had time to share? Okay, I'm going to ask you to tell me what one of the other people at your table said, not what you said. Okay? Olivia, what did somebody at your table say was happening? Segregation rights. Okay. Jason, what did someone at your table say besides you?
They think it's about freedom and racism.
Okay, about freedom and racism. And Antonio, what did someone say at your table, someone besides you? They're protesting for freedom. Someone at your table thinks is happening. Now we're going to look at some questions, and we're going to quickly go through this and see what you think. Do you think this situation, this whatever these people were doing, do you think it's constitutional for them to do this? How many of you think yes? Raise your hand. Ooh, okay, hands down. How many think it's not constitutional? Why do you think it's not constitutional, Luciana? Valeria, sorry. They're protesting for freedom, and you think that's not something that's constitutional? They shouldn't be able to do it?
I think it's more for the color of the skin.
Okay, it's about the color of their skin. Anybody else want to say if you think this is constitutional or not? All right, look at the second question. She just answered that. She said she thinks it's not constitutional because it's totally about the color of their skin. That's why they're doing this. The third question, what right do you think from the Constitution would help people do that? Those of you who said you think it's constitutional, like Jason, you said constitutional. What right do you think they have there that lets them do that?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, okay? Now, thinking about freedom of speech, if that's what it is. If you have freedom of speech, what responsibility do you have as a citizen of the United States? What responsibility did that crowd have in their freedom of speech? Antonio, what do you think they would have? What responsibility comes along with a right? If you have the right to free speech, what responsibility do you have? What do you think? You can ask your table. When you speak, what responsibility do you have about what you say? It should be what?
It should be good.
It doesn't necessarily have to be good, but along with good, what do you think he's meaning, Majesty? It should be what? It should be meaningful. What do you think, Christian? If you have the right to speak, freedom of speech, what would be your responsibility about what you say?
Not make it necessarily about other people, but just what you think.
It could be what you think, not necessarily about other people. Anybody else have a different idea of a responsibility that goes along with that freedom of speech? Yes? To try to make others agree with you, that'd be your responsibility.